Welcome to the Sports Show. Mike, Max, Patrick, Royce, the one and only Lavelle E. Neal, and Sid Hartman. Sydney, you and I were at the Vikings game today. I got to tell you, man, since Mike Zimmer came on board, it seems like every week they get a little bit better defensively. It's like his plan just keeps getting more refined.
Well, they caught a great break. How the Giants ever let that Joseph loose inside
Linval Joseph.
Free agent. Mike Zimmer told me that he's the best one he's ever seen around. And today he made 11 tackles and then about 5 other ones that he was involved in. Last week against the Bears, the same thing. He got healthy. He was having some trouble with some part of his body. He got healthy, and all of a sudden, they got another John Randall on their hands.
Well, he's a different energy level.
More of a Pat Williams.
Yeah, more of Pat Williams, a better version of Pat Williams.
Yeah, he's been terrific. And last year he was hurt. They brought him in and didn't do anything because he was hurt most of the year, but he's been fantastic. But throw in a 25-mile-an-hour wind with two offensively challenged teams that are very good defensively. That was a snot-nosed football game.
Boy,
that was a rugged game.
And to think, Lavelle, that they, you know, some would say it's a cardinal sin, but they gave St. Louis the ball to start overtime, and then you think, well, it makes sense because, you know, if you only score a field goal, you still get the ball back, and there wasn't no way St. Louis was going to score a touchdown the way they looked.
You know, two decisions in this game end up being huge. Jeff Fisher electing to go for 2 in the first quarter and then not getting it. And I thought actually Zimmer made the right move by electing to have the win at his back and kicking to the Rams because he could trust his defense. Nick Foles is a bad quarterback. All right, all their offense was Todd Gurley whenever they gave an end around to Tavon Austin. So I thought it was a calculated move that worked.
If he had get Bridgewater, he would have probably taken the ball.
That's a good point.
He's not going to take the ball with Sean Hill as his quarterback.
I think Zimmer is the best defensive coach the Vikings have had in a long, long time. The defensive coordinator does not call the defensive signals.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
So that's why when we see Mike Zimmer with that chart up and he's talking into the headphone before, that's what he's doing.
Zimmer calls every call, and he knows the defense. He's taking some guys that weren't that good in other years. They're pretty good right now.
And a great halftime change for them. They were that misdirection stuff with Tavon Austin running the, not a reverse, but a end around and stuff. They just basically said, the hell with it, and we're going to go where Foles is and knock the bejeebers out of him. Plus, they did a great job on Todd Gurley. He didn't. How many yards did he get? 50?
He ended up with, didn't he get to 90, but it took like 97 carries. Yeah. I mean, they shut him down for 3.5 quarters. He moved the ball late in the game, but that was huge in this game because Gurley's been a runaway freight train the last few weeks here. And
you kept waiting for him to bust one, didn't you?
Exactly. And then it really didn't happen.
Were you at the game?
I watched every play on television. What's wrong with that? Are you going to start this already?
Better view.
Really?
Sydney, you and I talked to Adrian Peterson after the game. I got to admit, I'm somewhat surprised at how good he's been this year. I thought there'd be more fall off.
Good with me. Talked to me alone before we went on the big
I think you're talking.
Everybody talks to you alone, Sid.
I think he's talking about football.
Yeah, I'm talking about football.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about football. I'm saying I thought there'd be more drop off in his game than there's been. He's been good.
Yeah. He made 2 good runs in a row today. Both 13 yards right in a row. He hasn't done that for a while. I don't think he's as good as he was 2 or 3 years ago.
Maybe not, but he's better than I thought he would be after the year off.
Yeah. They found ways to defense him. The good clubs will stop him.
But big deal. As long as you got to respect him, then you get some things opened up.
Yeah. The thing is, he's been a good guy in the clubhouse too.
Well, he's never been a problem in the locker room.
Oh yeah, he wasn't a problem.
Adrian Peterson?
At times, at times he told Jeff Anderson, I don't want to talk to anybody. Somebody wrote some negative thing about it.
But I mean, I'm talking about to his teammates.
Yeah, that's not being a problem.
Lavelle, there's a difference between not liking the media and...
Now, how many Twins players had to go through that through the years? You know, trying to talk to Mauer after games or Delman Young or someone, you know, that's not a big deal. As long as he's a good teammate, that's what it matters. And I think everybody thinks Adrian Peterson is a good teammate.
Patrick, what do you think of their defense?
Really aggressive. They don't mess around worrying about whether they're trying to get fooled or not. They just, they just go to the ball.
They
Do you think St. Louis...
And they tackle like
hit
hell.
hard.
You know what the difference today was? Tackling. Their cornerbacks and safeties tackle, and St. Louis has missed a lot of tackles.
I still have a tough time, and I know people are going to yell and scream about the cheap shot on Teddy Bridgewater, but when the game is played that fast and things happen that fast, I have a really tough time deciding whether it's a cheap shot or not.
Yeah, I mean, the guy he launched himself, but then Bridgewater went down. He said that I launched myself before Bridgewater went down. So
Well, he launched himself like this, like he was Superman with the flying elbow.
He says he's his neighbor, and his mom and Bridgewater's mom are buddies, and he said, I don't want to hurt him.
He must have watched Macho Man Randy Savage as a kid, because I looked like the flying elbow off the top.
The first one, though, was the first one that all the Viking fans were upset about. That wasn't a penalty.
I thought the Ram quarterback was terrible. He never hit anybody all day.
No, they tried to devise a game plan where they didn't have to have him make big plays. Did you think Bridgewater, that was a cheap shot, or what did you think? By the way, in the locker room after the game, Bridgewater seemed fine. I mean, I don't know.
He said he was going out to dinner.
Ironic.
Yeah, I mean, he looked fine. He was talking fine. He seemed fine.
It's ironic that Greg Williams, that guy that beat up Brett Favre, is now the defensive coordinator.
What do you think?
For the Rams.
What do you
I
think?
don't think Greg Williams.
I think he's out to get the guy.
I don't think Greg Williams said, "Hey, if he's sliding and you get a chance, launch yourself and hit him in the head." That's a bunch of crap.
I do think Greg Williams loves it to let people think about it going into the
Well,
game.
hey, Zimmer's boys, Harrison Smith will stick his helmet in your sternum too.
Yeah.
So
Chris Wenke's the quarterback's coach of the St. Louis Rams. Did you know that?
Pardon me?
Chris Wenke is the St. Louis Rams quarterback coach.
He's got a lot of work to do.
That's the first you knew about that?
No, but I didn't know if the public knew about that.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, there's a difference. Who else? Oh, there's another connection there.
Chris
Anyway, it doesn't
Wenke,
matter. Take a break, come back, sports show. Stay with us.
The Sports Show is brought to you in part by Cambria, makers of quality quartz surfaces. Ticket King. For the best price on tickets anywhere, try Ticket King. Soundpoint Audiology. Life is worth hearing. RSM. This is the power of being understood. This is RSM. And Bobby and Steve's Auto World. Go to BobbyandSteve'sAutoWorld.com for huge savings on everything from convenience store items to everything under the hood of your car.
Quality. It's the result of shared values. The joy found in an honest day's work. Respect for true American craftsmanship and the need, not the want, to get things right. It's the result of remembering your roots, being forever humbled by how far you've traveled and forever hungry to push on further. Quality is a result. Quality is who we are. Cambria. Family owned, American made.
You're watching CW-23.
File bankruptcy with no money down. Over 20,000 clients have trusted Hoagland Law Offices. Ask about our $0 down payment plan. Call the offices of Robert Hoagland now for a free consultation at an office near you.
Save up to 80%. The Jewelry Exchange has diamond pendants for $99, tennis bracelets $3.99 per carat, 2-carat bands $7.99, and 1-carat top white studs $5.99. Jewelry guaranteed to appraise for double by Factory Direct. The Jewelry Exchange in Eagan.
Real men rise and shine.
Charlie? You're passed out on the stairs.
Really? Oh, that's not good.
2.5 Men. 2 episodes tomorrow starting at 9:30 on CW-23.
Credit cards and medical bills too much? File bankruptcy with no money down. Over 20,000 clients have trusted Hoagland Law Offices. Call the law offices of Robert Hoagland for a free consultation at an office near you.
Looking for a nice, big, juicy rack of ribs?
Fabulous chops, huge steaks, and the Buddy Bowl? Then J.D. Hoyt's is the place for you. Hoyt's opened in 1983, and Mike Andrews and his partner John White have kept this Minnesota tradition at the top of the food chain. Managing owner Pat Montague gives us a tour.
At J.D. Hoyt's, enjoy a relaxed atmosphere, great food, friendly service, private dining room, second to none happy hour, just blocks from the new ballpark.
Located at 394 in North Washington. Locally owned, nationally known. Hoyt's.
Downtown Minneapolis, J.D. Hoyt Supper Club. Stop on by and enjoy a downtown game. The Timberwolves, the Vikings, the Gophers, whatever's going on downtown, stop by and see Pat. Not Royce, but you might see him there too on the same day or night. Welcome back to the sports show. Quickly, your Bears play tomorrow night, so there's really not much to say about them.
No, we're going in without Matt Forte, and we're starting it back with Brennan back, and Phil Rivers does not like Jay Cutler, so it should be very entertaining for San Diego fans.
Good
San
boys,
Diego.
the Bears?
Yeah.
The Bears?
Yeah.
Monday Night Football tomorrow, Sid.
They're
Yeah,
the
2 and
worst
6,
football
2 and
team.
5. 2 and 5.
I'll say one thing. Detroit and the Bears have got the worst front offices of any football team in the National
How can you
Football
draw that
League.
conclusion when the Bears have a first-year GM and they actually have a good coaching setup with John Fox, Adam Gase, and Vic Fangio? They finally have a good coaching setup.
I don't know if they do or not.
What I found most interesting about the Lions this week, though, was I did not know that Martha Ford, the widow of William Clay Ford, was a Firestone.
Really?
So,
She's a
little bit
Fire-
of money in that family.
So
Martha
Firestone marries the Ford. You got the whole car right there, huh?
Right.
Yeah, the
Well,
Lions
they were, the old timers
The old
were
money.
neighbors down in Fort
Sure.
Myers, and
That was like here.
Martha married him.
Jim Binger owned a big piece of Honeywell,
Yeah.
and his wife was a McKnight.
That's
Yes,
the way you
that's
should
right.
get married. You don't want those people trying to
3M.
sneak
That-
in and steal your
not
money.
too bad.
And that family's part owner of the Minnesota United team.
But he used to be part owner of the Vikings.
Yep. Yeah, I remember James Binger.
Yeah,
Right.
James Binger did. Gophers. Sydney, I thought you said it best this morning on your radio show.
What about me? What
Are
about
you surprised to hear this? You didn't expect them to beat Ohio State, for sure. But it would have been nice if they just hadn't given up that last touchdown, because a 21-14 score would have
That's
been
what
a
I
lot better.
said. Yeah.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. I'm complimenting you on this.
I said that.
Yes.
I thought they came back and they had two good quarters, the first and the fourth. They played them even, the first and the fourth. With 5 minutes to play, there was no score. And then there was that in the first
interception.
quarter. And then Leitner threw that interception, and then they scored. And then they were negative ground gaining in the third quarter, but the fourth quarter, they completely outplayed Ohio State.
Yeah, I mean, it was not as bad as I thought it might be, Patrick.
I got to give Tracy Clays and the boys a lot of credit that they showed up with as much fight as they had against Ohio State, because after that crushing loss and all the emotion of last week, I didn't expect that big of an effort. And they tried. They tried hard. Offense, until the fourth quarter didn't really do anything. But, the defense played great. Defense really played well. And
The score is 21-14. If they get that onside kick, was the onside kick after they scored the last?
Yeah.
21-14,
That's,
yes.
2014, they tried that funky onside kick.
A lot
When
of
have you seen a team recover an onside kick?
Happens once in a while. I mean, you got to try it,
Yeah,
right?
you gotta try
I mean,
it, yeah.
what's your option, right, Lavelle?
I have a little bit different view on this. When you lose 3 consecutive games and you're in danger of not going to a bowl, who in the hell cares if you lose by 7, 14, or 41? Big deal that they fought hard to the end and only lost by 14.
Explain this to
very,
him.
What does he know? He knows nothing about the baseball team.
He's going to come to the Illinois game and sit next to you. 'cause,
I sure am.
Illinois, big comeback win for Illinois after
I
the week
predict
Well, Purdue-
that they
Purdue
will
loses
win the
every-
next 3 games.
Next 3.
Yes.
They're going to beat Iowa?
Beating Iowa.
Yes.
They're not going to Iowa and winning.
That'll be
Iowa
that'll be a
hasn't beaten
slugfest.
anybody.
They're not going to Iowa
That'll
and
be a
winning.
slugfest. Iowa looked very mediocre at Maryland, right?
Well,
wasn't it?
Indiana.
They were in Indiana. Yeah.
But Indiana had a chance to win that game in the fourth quarter. I watched that game.
Yeah, they had it right where they wanted it. But, last year, Minnesota just drilled Iowa. I mean, what a difference.
51-14.
Remember, and name the score.
Yep.
Michigan State got royally robbed. Did you see the end of it?
I just saw the touchdown.
The Jordan Westerkamp play?
Unbelievable. The guy runs out of bounds. The Michigan State defense back had nothing to do with it. He ran back in, caught the pass, and they gave it to him.
Because they said he was pushed out and could come back in?
They said he was forced out, but he was not forced out. No, not even close. But then they reviewed it, but they weren't nobody knows what they were reviewing because you can't overturn a judgment call. So.
How many plays did we see like that in college football over this weekend?
I'll tell you, with all these unbeaten teams, it's getting really good because TCU got beat, Michigan State got beat.
Boy, did Alabama handle LSU.
Alabama just handled those.
I think those reviews are useless because those officials are so bad. There's so many sports right now that you need officials for that you can't get good ones. You can't get the old timers.
Are you still, this isn't going to get into your full-time official deal.
Let me tell you something. The NFL is impossible to referee. The NBA is impossible to referee. Basketball in general is impossible to referee.
Block charge every day.
The only two sports where you can actually referee are hockey and baseball. Because there's in hockey there's enough room out there, but the NFL and basketball are impossible.
In
How about
baseball? You're pretty much covered.
How about some of these guys' balls and strikes?
Overturned in baseball. That happens a lot as well. I think pass interference in football and the block charge in basketball are like the two toughest calls to make now because they're allowing contact now and not calling pass interference, and that to me opens up a whole new line of subjectivity.
Which is why some people say they should review pass interference.
Yes, they should.
Yes, they should.
Yes.
Isn't this true, Mr. Baseball, that some of the players will tell you this umpire will call a high ball strike?
Yes,
absolutely.
Right? And that some other umpire will give that same thing a ball?
Yeah, absolutely. Umpires have different strike zones. It'll never change unless you have a human behind home plate.
Tom Kelly's got that great line about who has momentum in baseball. He says, tell me who the starting pitcher is and tell me who the home plate umpire is.
No
right?
doubt.
And I can tell you
No
who's
doubt.
got the momentum that night. Take a break.
The Sports Show is brought to you in part by Escape MSP, the fastest 60 minutes of your life.
Ever wonder, why do I hear but not understand? Scientists at Cambridge University discovered the answer. Inside your cochlea, there are thousands of tiny hearing hair cells. Poor hearing occurs when regions of these hair cells die. Amplifying a dead region with hearing aids makes you hear worse, not better. The result of this study is a hearing clarity breakthrough. Using standard test equipment, dead regions of your cochlea are identified. Then, a new type of frequency-shaping hearing aid is programmed to bypass the dead regions. Only your usable hearing hair cells receive amplification. Brilliant. A local study is underway. 100 citizens with hearing problems are needed to receive this testing and then wear the tiny device for 10 days, recording your results. Call now to see if you qualify. Volunteers may keep the product at a special discount if they desire. Don't miss this opportunity. Call now.
Hi, I'm John Hines. And Bobby and Steve's Auto World is the place you should come for car washes, oil changes, tires. As a matter of fact, anything and everything under the hood of your car. You're in great hands at Bobby and Steve's Auto World, where serving people is the most important part of their business.
Go into Bobby and Steve's Auto World for great savings on all Michelin and BF Goodrich tires. Plus, get $60 on your World Rewards card. Schedule your appointment at BobbyandStevesAutoWorld.com or just stop in.
Welcome back to the Sports Show. Mike Max,
College
Neil.
replay is bad because they let the guys upstairs have the power. They don't have the challenge system, so they review too many plays. That's why college is bad.
Overall, you don't like the review policy?
All I know is I want to repeat.
Okay.
I've known a lot of officials in the Big Ten and NFL who retired 20 years ago, and some of those guys are in the replay booth, and there's no way they can make a good judgment.
I always felt that Roy Tutt should have sued you for
which time?
For mental strain, mental anxiety, driving him crazy. Poor Roy Tutt.
Remember when he'd walk in up there?
Nicest guy that ever lived. Every time the Gophers didn't get a penalty in their behalf,
He'd walk down the
screamed at poor Roy Tutt. Nicest guy ever lived.
What about the Yankees-Twins game at the Dome where Knobloch, Noski took out was it Jeter or Knobloch at second base?
I don't know.
And after the game, we want to talk to the umpire, and Sid beats everybody down.
Jim Joyce, right?
And starts cussing out Jim Joyce.
I want to ask you a question. Why do I talked to you before the show, why do all these baseball players, they look like Jewish rabbis?
Beards are in.
With their beards.
Beards are in. It'll be about a 2-year phenomenon.
Beards are in, man. I don't know if the Dallas Keuchel thing is the way people should want to go, but
Well, look at Fitzpatrick, the quarterback for the
I know.
Bills. I mean,
it looks like they just
Hair is back. Look at me.
Hey, look at
Next
Patrick.
week, I'll be looking good.
Timberwolves. Sydney, they about the time you thought, uh-oh, they're going south, they find a way to beat Chicago.
The amazing thing is, the night before, the Bulls beat maybe the second best team in basketball. They beat the Oakland.
Maybe that's why they
City.
were vulnerable.
Two
I
nights
don't know.
before.
All I know, I watched that whole game, and they didn't turn the ball over, and the Bulls couldn't hit a.
It was
one
unbelievable.
side of
They
a
missed
line.
more shots in the last
And
2
they were
minutes.
driving to the basket for layups, and they missed open layups.
Yes.
It was ridiculous.
As I always
The
say.
Wolves should have won in regulation because they missed so many damn free throws in the fourth quarter.
The tiebreakers, goaltenders. Okay, that's the tiebreaker. And football, turnovers. Baseball, balls and strikes. And in basketball, making shots.
Yeah.
You know, if you make Andrew Wiggins looked great last night because he made shots.
Yeah.
But
You think he's going to make that many threes the next time he plays? No.
But the reason, to your point, Lavelle, that Minnesota had no business winning was that they couldn't even make free throws.
No.
Yes.
I'm not saying Minnesota had no business winning. I think they won because the Bulls couldn't hit a bull in the ass with a snow shovel.
Yeah.
That's
How
all.
many teams
I think they were 11 of 45.
Butler,
in
Rose, they're all
three-point range.
getting good looks.
Hey, Sid, how many teams in NBA history, the guy they want at the free throw line is their 7-foot center?
Yeah.
Carl Anthony Towns.
Yeah.
He's what, a 90%er or something like that.
Yeah, you're probably
He's
right.
a great shooter.
What do you think we're going to see out of Garnett based on what you've seen so far?
Kept on that.
Yeah, what do you think? What are your expectations for him this
I
season?
think when he's on the floor, they play smarter basketball. He can't hit a shot.
Yeah, he is.
I do think they play smarter basketball when he's on the. But he's not. I'll tell you the thing that shocked me last night was that guy. I can't pronounce his name.
Bielika?
The guy from Europe. He was
Belitza.
unbelievable last night.
But Garnett can still rebound. He can still get the weak side rebound, and they don't rebound great, and he can defend. But he's not going to score points. That's why the other guy's playing more than him.
And that's why Garnett and Tayshaun Prince are on the court for defense.
Tayshaun Prince, 38 minutes last night.
Yep.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. But of course, Kevin Martin was missing.
Last night, he was perfect. He got all the rebounds. He threw a lot of picks and blocks, and he just played basketball the way he should play it.
How is Sam Mitchell different from Flip Saunders as a head coach?
I think he's tougher on those guys. I really do. The other day, Wiggins hasn't been hitting the shots, so Wiggins gets ready to leave. You aren't leaving. He said, you and I are going to shoot and see who can do better, and we're going to shoot until you make 10 in a row.
I thought
You'll be here all day.
after they stuck it out against the Heat, his post-game press conference was interesting when he said, I get a laugh every day because these guys think they can play basketball. Something like that. These guys think they know how to play, he said. And you know,
I thought
Flip
he was
would've never
pretty
said
good
that.
the other night.
No, he wouldn't have.
No.
The other night, he got a little peed off after they lost that game.
Yeah,
to
who was he mad at?
Portland.
No, it was Miami.
Well, he will get peed off.
Well, the Portland game, he had good reason to be
'cause of the
mad
goaltending.
because
Well,
of
he was
the
mad.
last jump
Yeah,
ball.
he was mad at the end of the game, but Miami, he got mad at the media, right?
Somebody gave him a bad time about the lineup he had, and I don't know if he had DeRubio in the game at the end. And when they asked him that question,
Set him off, huh?
set him off. You want to coach the team?
That's good.
Can't get
Good
one
stuff.
about
Take a
lineups
break,
this
come
early in the
back,
season.
stay with us.
The Sports Show is brought to you in part by Case Law. For all your legal needs, not your typical law firm. Griffin Bail Bonds. It's better to know us and not need us than to need us and not know us. Edge Marketing and Promotional Products. From T-shirts to swag, featuring over 100,000 products. We can put your logo on anything. And Vincent's Limousine Service, serving your corporate and private transportation needs since 2005.
You guys could go on a free shopping spree anywhere. Where would you go? I'd go to the grocery store. Pizza, ice cream. I'd go shop for clothes. You know where I go? I'd go to Ticket King. Ticket King! At Ticket King, you can buy great seats for the Vikings, the Wild, the Timberwolves, and of course the Twins. We love the Twins. Yep, this is where I go. Vikings, Twins, Wild, Timberwolves, Gophers, theater, and concerts too. For details, go to TicketKingOnline.com. Any ticket, anytime, anywhere. It's the real thing. It's Ticket King. Right, Dad?
Couldn't have said it any better myself.
That's for sure.
Take every step without hesitation. Anticipate your next move with certainty. Because our trusted advisors help you prepare for challenges specific to your business. Our focus is always on you, so your focus is always forward. Experience the power of being understood. RSM, Audit, Tax, and Consulting for the Middle Market.
Welcome back. Quickly, Twins. Torrey Hunter's press conference, and does that open the door for Justin Morneau to come back because he worked with Hunter?
I don't see, unless Morneau wants to coach and stop playing. There's no spot for Morneau on this team. Where's he going to play? DH? They need the DH spot to rotate the other positions at. And Mauer's at first base. I don't see a fit here, and I don't think fans should think about getting him coming. And I don't think the Twins should go
Plus,
after
he
AJ.
just missed a half a season with
Another concussion.
I
And
bet 10-1 he's in spring training.
not with the Twins, someone else.
Well, I hope they're not that sentimental. I like him a lot, but
how many times are we gonna do this? We
How
tried-
about Sid?
Yeah, sit on Sid. Sid, you get
Quick.
to finish this out. Go.
I'm not saying he'll play. I'm saying he'll be in spring training as an instructor, Torrey Hunter.
No, I think. Oh,
No,
Torrey.
Torrey's taking
we'll
time
all agree
off.
with that,
I don't
right?
think it's going to happen.
The Sports Show is brought to you in part by Cambria, makers of quality quartz surfaces. Ticket King. For the best price on tickets anywhere, try Ticket King. Soundpoint Audiology. Life is worth hearing. Escape MSP. The fastest 60 minutes of your life. RSM. This is the power of being understood. This is RSM. And Bobby and Steve's Auto World. Go to BobbyandSteve'sAutoWorld.com for huge savings on everything from convenience store items to everything under the hood of your car.